Welcome to gracious Gall Bladder mat movement. So with your legs in parallel, just allow yourself to rock forwards and backwards, heels and toes. Feel the bones. And then come side to side. Soften through the knees, shift the weight. And see if you can now just lift a foot. Find your balance. Coming to your shoulders and let them circle back. And forwards. Lacing fingers, pushing the palms away, right up above your head. Shifting the weight into the left leg. See if you can flex the right. Come into a balance. And back. Hands down. Changing the interlacing. Back up. Shifting the weight into the right. Flexing the left and balancing. Letting the hands come to the elbows, up above the head, and circle to the left. See if the shoulders can be involved and the upper chest. Take a pause, and then the other way. The arms coming down. We're shifting weight again, balancing. But this time, the knee is rising, and the arms are taking flight at the sides of the body. So you might find that your foot comes off a small amount, maybe a little higher. It might rise even further. After your next one, letting that settle. So our stance is coming wider. We're bringing the palms forwards. We're softening the knees. And we're pushing to the left. 1, 2, and 3. On that third one, you bring leg in. The leg nearest the camera then comes out and we push again. 1, 2, and 3. This leg comes in, we take it back, and we find a warrior 1. Allow the front leg to lengthen, extend through the spine. Hands where they're comfortable. Feel the energy traveling through the tailbone, through the crown of the head. Soften the front leg. Come round, ready to start again. Palms. Push. 2. Third time. Bring the leg in. The leg nearest the camera. Push. Return. On this third one, it comes back in. We're going to take it back. Bend the front leg into a warrior 1. Then the hands come down to the leg, which is straightened. We lengthen. We soften through the knees. Come forwards. Roll back up. Bring the feet in. And for the Gall Bladder meridian, we have the index fingers. They're coming to the sides of the eyes. There's a little indentation in the bone here. Have a little play around, see if you can find it. You can choose the level of pressure to give. The higher the elbows are, the more you'll possibly be able to press into these points. At the very start of the gallbladder meridian, gallbladder 1. Then we press sides of the upper head, the lower head, the neck, we make claw hands, we cross, and these are now going to hook over the shoulder and press into the back of the shoulder as long as you're not pregnant. If you're pregnant, just let them rest gently. If you're not, you can press in. Again, if you higher the elbows, you'll have more firmness that you can exert. And this is gallbladder 21. I'll show you from the back. From the other side. And then back to the front where we release. We are pressing down the side of the torso. When we come to the pelvis, make little fists and tapping into gallbladder 30. Take that down further. The knees are bending as I roll down. So there's access to the lower legs at the side of the body, onto the feet, and we're going to end at the 4th toe. Release the head, the arms, forward fold. Bring the pelvis down and forwards and slowly roll back up. And we have one more flow in standing. So we're going to bring our feet a bit wider. I'm going to lace the fingers again. I'm going to bend the knees and press up. We're taking this into a lateral bend. The left arm is coming down, the right is coming over. Then we release the arms. We're swiveling the right foot, then the left, so we can find our triangle. So your hands might be around the knee area, the calf, the ankle. You might even come to the floor. You can look either straight ahead, or you can look up. We let the left leg bend. We lightly rest that arm on it, and then the other arm softens over the top. Then we're going to reach back up. The right arm comes down, the left arm comes up and over. And we're going to lift the left toes. So there's a flexion going on, you're pressing into the heel. That comes down. We swivel forwards, hands to the pelvis. We're going to then reach forwards. The right hand comes down to the floor. It might be fingertips, knuckles, or palm. And then the left arm can twist you up. We release that arm. We roll back up. We lace the fingers, butt to the back. We're going to circle the shoulders, lengthen the arms back, and fold. From here, we soften the knees, we release the hands, we roll back up. We're going to squeeze at the waist now. Coming right round and back. So the gall bladder is tucked underneath the liver on the right side of the body, relatively near the solar plexus, so it can release bile into the duodenum, the very top of the small intestine. We're coming now to repeat the flow on the other side. So we bend the knees, we lace the fingers, and they're coming up. This time, the right arm is coming down, the left over the top. Releasing the arms, swiveling the left foot then the right, finding your triangle. So you might come just above the knee, you might come below, you might come to the ankle. Letting the front leg bend, lightly bringing the arm on top. The other one is coming over. And then pushing through that front foot, let the leg lengthen. Arcing the arms the other way. With the right toes, let them lift off, pressing into that heel. They come down. We face forwards. We bring the hands to the hip area. We hinge. This time it's the left hand coming down, the right up. Soften through the knees, roll the pelvis under, roll back up. We're lacing the fingers behind, rolling the shoulders back, keeping the legs relatively straight and folding. I'm going to soften the knees, release the hands. I'm going to let the legs come back to parallel. Let the knees soften, just relaxing the upper body with the bounces. And then slowly making your way down to hands and knees. So here we're making some big circles. We're shifting the weight through the bones and we're going in a clockwise direction. So we can come back, we go to the left, forwards and right. We come to stillness. And we're going to find the circles this time through the rib cage. So to the left, let it come up, over to the right and down. Take a pause. Let the weight shift a little bit more into the arms and hands. Then taking the left arm, just let it reach forwards, up and round. After this third one, it comes back. The weight down through the arms into the bones of the hands. Try to bring the elbows rather than out, drawing them in. We'll lift up the feet. We're going to bring the left over the right and we're bending at the elbows. 3 times. You might come down a little, or if it's available, you might come even lower. And then we uncross there. We're coming to a high kneeling position. And here, just shake out the hands. So I will turn so the other side is nearest the screen. We're going to come down for the right side. So our circles now will be anti-clockwise. We come back to the right, forwards, left. Allowing that to settle. So the rib cage to the right, up, left and down. Bring that to a still place. The weight comes forward into the hands. It will be this time the right arm will reach and circle back. We place that down. The weight is still through the hands here. We try to bring the elbows in rather than out. Right over the left. Bend the elbows. We could come down a little. We might come down all the way. Or somewhere in between. Uncrossing. Coming back up. This time we'll let the hands rotate. The other way. So to our first flow, at hands and knees. We're coming down. We're curling the toes under. We're pushing up into the downward facing dog. And we're walking out. We let the knees bring us back down. The hands are coming across to the left. So we can bring that right leg through. Finding your way up. Letting the pelvis come between the knees. Bringing the arms alongside your head. Letting the arms come to shoulder height and turning towards the right leg. Turning the other way. Coming back. The hands to the left. The right leg comes back part way and then comes out. We come down onto the lower arms. Have a little rock forwards and backwards. We take a pause. Then this leg bends in. We're going to take it at an angle up, flex foot, and pulse. This leg now comes down. The toes are curled under, and we rock forwards and back. You can continue doing this, helping to strengthen the upper body. You might choose to explore the dolphin. The weight comes over the lower arms and hands. We lift the knees either a little or we come higher. For some people, it might be available to walk the feet in a little more. You can be still or you can rock. When we come down, we choose a child position that suits us and rest. Coming out, I will turn so the other side is more visible. We repeat on this other side. The toes curl under. We come up into the downward facing dog. We walk through feet. We come all the way back down. The hands are to the right so that the left leg can bring its way forwards. You find a way of coming up, letting the pelvis then just come between the two legs. We let the arms come up alongside the head. And we bring them down to shoulder level. We're going to turn towards the left leg or the front leg. Then we're going to turn the other way. We're coming back. The hands are coming down. This left leg comes back and then out to the side, keeping the toes forwards to try and stop it from sliding too much. We're down on the lower arms. We have a rock here. We pause, bend that leg back in. It's going to come all the way up, flex foot and pulse. We bring that down. Both sets of toes curled under, and we're rocking forwards and back. We might continue with this, or we might explore the dolphin, where we lift the knees a little, or to varying degrees. So we come up. And here we can either be still, we could rock, we could try to walk the feet in a little. And then we gently find our way into a resting child. The mind's quite low. You might want to be higher. Find what supports you. And then we're sliding the hands back in. And coming onto hands and knees. We're starting with the left leg and we're circling. Doesn't matter really which way you circle. They might be large, they might be small. Change the direction. Let them settle back. Both feet swiveling to the left. You can come to look at them and then they come back to the midline. Swivel, midline, swivel, midline. The left leg now lengthens back, the toes curl under, but they're going to slide around to the right corner. Have a rock back into the heel. Now let the knee bend behind the other knee. Let the toes curl under. Bring the hands back a little and just see if you can rock back. So the top knee will come off possibly. Then the next time that you're forward, the back leg comes out, which is the left one, has good shape. And then that comes back. I'll walk myself round so that the right side is nearest the camera. So we're starting with the circles. Finding how big you want to make them. Circle in the other direction. That comes down. We slide both feet to the right. Have a look back to midline. Slide, return, slide, and return. The right leg then lengthens back. Toes are curled under, but we're going to slide it right across to the left corner of the mat, and then we just push back into it. We soften that knee behind. We bring the hands in. You may need to have both sets of toes curled under. But we're going to just take the weight back. The knee may lift off. You might need to adjust hands again. Then those hands come forwards a little. You release that leg and give it a shake out. We come back into a high kneeling position. We let the hands loosen, shake. Now we come into our last flow on hands and knees. We're taking our left leg. It comes out, the toes are forwards. If they're forwards, it stops, hopefully, the leg from sliding. Here, we're going to lift the heel. 1, 2, and 3. Then try lifting the toes. 1, 2, and 3. We're coming up. So you're losing my head, but the right arm is coming up and over it, having a little pulse here. Then the right arm is coming down. It might be fingertips, it might be knuckles, it might be palm. The other arm is coming over. The left heel again lifts. 1, 2, 3. The toes. 2, 3. Then I'm going to reach that arm up. I'm going to come back. Left leg is going to bend. Hands to the pelvis and just start to circle the pelvis. Let it circle the other way. We take a pause. We let the pelvis just come under a little bit. The arms are coming alongside the head. The left leg can stay as it is, or you might like to try and see if you can lengthen it. Then to come out, you're going to bend the leg, bring it in. We're coming now to a wide child. So the knees are beyond the hands. The big toes come together and you can rock. Now you might find that you can come down a bit lower. You may want to be still. You may want to continue rocking. To come out, find some press through the hands. Let the knees come back in, feet out. And then we will take the right leg out, toes forwards. Starting with the heels, 1, lift, 2, and 3. Then the toes, 1, 2, 3. We're going to roll up. We're going to arc over. You could be still, you could pulse. And then we go the other way. We're supporting with the left hand, fingertips, knuckles, or palm. The other arm is coming over. We lift the heel, 1, 2, 3. The toes, 1, 2, and 3. We can bring the arm down this time. We can let the lengthened leg bend, and then we come up. Taking hold lightly around the pelvis and find some way of circling, mobilizing the pelvis and the hip joints, and then the other way. We're going to let the pelvis now just tip under a little bit. Tiny back bend, the arms alongside the head. You may want to stay with the front leg as it is, or you may want to lengthen. To come out, the arms come down, the knee bends. This time we have the frog. Again, the knees are a little bit wider than the hands, but the feet are directly behind the knees, and we try to flex the feet. You might find that your knees splay out a little bit, but try to keep the feet in line. Being mindful if you've had a hip replacement with this kind of movement. You could come back to the child. You can stay at hands, or you could come down to the lower arms. To come out, we bring the big toes towards each other. We push through the hands. Bring the legs in. And then from here, we're going to transition down onto the side of the body. Give yourself a little rock here. Settle from the rocking. Allow the earth to support you. Then taking your upper arm and your upper leg and just let them extend. Feel that reach and then flex them in. So elbow to knee, reach, elbow to knee, reach. So having the foot flexed will activate the Gall Bladder meridian in the leg and hip. The next time that you come in, we'll let that settle down. We're now going to take the upper leg. We're going to flex the foot, lengthen it, and then just rise the leg, raise the leg up and down. So the slower you raise it, possibly the more you might feel into it. Finding a sense that you're aware of the movement up as well as the movement down. Then we'll let that come down, we'll bend, we'll settle. We're still with the upper leg. We're going to allow it to lengthen, flex the foot forwards, and then we can swing it back and forth. And come back in. Give yourself a little rock again. Pressing into the earth. Feeling the support. Returning to stillness. With the upper leg this time, allow it to bicycle. Find a softening through the joints. Change the direction. And then if it's available, see if you can rest the knee on the elbow in some kind of way. It could be on top, it might be inside. From here, let the leg extend, possibly with a flexed foot. We're going to bend that back. We're taking the upper hand. We're going to push the leg back. Small pushes, if it's available, taking hold at the ankle and pulsing. Softening out. From here, sliding into a semi-sitting position. So palm down. I'm going to slide the arm in. So you have a palm down. You have a lower arm down. We have a little rock here. Take a pause. And then slowly up to sitting. Letting the legs come out in front. So I have my feet flexed. I'll just slide back a bit so you can see them. Hinging from the pelvis into a forward fold. So allowing the legs to be comfortable. They might need to have more of a bend in them. They might need to roll out a little bit. From here, rolling back up. Squeezing the waist. Smoothing around the front of the back. Having a sense on the right side of the liver and tucking in underneath it towards the solar plexus, the gall bladder, the bag containing the bile, which when you are eating will release into the duodenum, which is the very first part of the small intestine, coming to the meridian. So the sides of the eyes, feel the bone, come back just a tiny bit, and you might connect in with the indentation. For more pressure, the elbows come up. So we're only staying here a short while, possibly 2 to 3 minutes if you're working with conditions. So at this point, the eyes, migraine headaches at the side, flashing lights. We're coming from here, we're pressing the upper head, the sides, the lower head, the sides of the neck. We then have the claw fingers, we cross, we just touch lightly if we're pregnant. If we're not, we can really curl them and push them in. Have a bit of a jiggle around there for Gall Bladder 21. Shoulder tension. You need to find your sensitive spot or spots. Releasing and then pressing down the sides of the torso. When you come to the pelvis, little fist tapping into Gall Bladder 30. And we take that down the outsides of the legs. When we come to the knees, we just bend a little so we have access to the lower legs. Come down to that fourth toe. Take hold, have a little wiggle jiggle of that fourth toe where the gallbladder meridian finishes. From here, our first flow in sitting. So we have a wide-ish position. We're going to take the knees and the elbows, and we're going to bend them up. Come down. We're going to lace the fingers. They're up over the head. A repeated motif. And we're forward folding. It might be a little. You might find you can come lower, but see what emerges for you. Then we release the fingers to slide in and come back. The left hand stays on the left leg. The right arm comes out and back a little, and we pulse to open the shoulder. We're then going to arc all the way over. The right arm comes down between the legs. So does the left arm come right to the back opposite that front arm. So you can twist. Come to look over the left shoulder. We come back in. The hands then just slide under the back of the knees. We're going to tip back, find our sitting bones. Come and balance. So you can stay here, or you might be able to lengthen with those flex feet. We bend back, we bring the legs together, flex feet. You can stay here, or you can try the assisted float. Then we come back down, soles of the feet together. The knees might be quite high up, they might be lower down, and then we're going to gently fold here. So each of us will fold in a different way. Coming out of the fold, you can walk your hands in. You'll find that you'll roll back up. We lengthen out. Again, we're bending elbows and knees. We're coming back. We're lacing fingers up over the head, and we're doing a forward fold. We release the fingers, we slide all the way back. This time the right hand stays on the leg, the left hand back a little, we pulse. Feel that movement in the shoulder. Then we're going to arc over to the right side. We can be still, we can pulse. See what feels good. Then the left arm is coming down in front. The right is coming sort of equivalent to the back so that we can turn. Coming back to face what for you is the front, and bend. The hands come under. Balancing, possibly extending, coming back to bending, in together, possibly extending again. And then back down. Hands are coming behind, and we have a few twists, one way and then the other way. The next time the knees are to the left, we're hopefully allowing them to stay here. So you might have them close together. You might be able to have this kind of 90 angle. So see what works for you. We're taking the left arm, we're sliding it out, possibly down to the elbow, and we're taking the arm over. So it's quite a flowy sequence this. We come up, we use the momentum to arc the other way. We come back. The left arm then is a support. The right arm comes through. You reach, you might stay or you might lift that arm, whether you're reaching or lifting circles round. Coming down, sliding forwards. Coming back up again and a little quicker. We'll flow through that. Support, reach, possibly lift, circle, fold. Releasing. This time having the legs wider than parallel. And we're going to take them side to side. Now the knees might come down. They might be off the ground, or you might have one down and one up. The next time the knees are to the right. So we're either in close together or a little bit further apart. We might have more of this 90-90. You might need to keep them crossed in some way. We arc over. We come back. We have the support, the reach, possibly the lift. Circle through and slide forwards. Coming up. Reach, possibly lift. Coming through and down. So we're coming to the opposite side to last time, making yourself comfortable. You might need a bit of a rock and roll here. Connect you to the earth. Bring that to stillness. Then the upper arm and leg extends, flexes, extends. When you come in this time, find a rest. The upper leg now. will extend and flex, and it's coming up and down. Because the foot is flexed, there's not much of a turnout. The next time it comes down, let it settle. It's now coming forwards. It lengthens, the foot's flexed, and then it comes back. So forwards and back. Forwards, back. We bring that in. We're softening the movement now into some bicycling. So softer to have a sense of the hip, the knee, the ankle. Then the other way. Allowing the knee, if possible, to come somewhere near the elbow to rest. You could bring an extension here, flexing the foot even. Then it comes back in. We're taking the top hand. We're going to push it back, create some pulses. For those that have availability, you might take hold of the ankle, push back that way. Release. Give yourself a final rock. Then we're going to slide our way up to semi-sitting with a bit of a push too. So you have the palm down, we push, we slide that lower arm in. We come to the forearm and palm. We can rock here. Taking our time to come up, so the blood flow doesn't rush too quickly. And then a push to bring us into a chosen sitting position. So you might find that you want your legs lengthened out. You might find you want them bent this way. You might want to have cross legs in some way. Whichever one you've chosen, just let the spine grow up to the sky and down to the earth. Let the hands, elbows, shoulders hang out here. Then the shoulders softly circling back. Softly circling forwards. I'm going to take the hands up to the shoulders. Leading with the elbows, we'll take some more circles back. And more circles forwards. Then we're coming to bring the hands together, the thumbs coming into the breastbone near the heart. You might be able to feel it beating. Come to close your eyes. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Feel how the chest may be moving in response to the breath moving in and out. Bring awareness inwards to places in your body that feel soft and comfortable, to others that might feel more jarred or tight. Any twitches or tingles. Bringing awareness now to the outer surface of the skin. The feel of the air temperature. Allowing the eyes to softly open. So you take in light, colors, shapes and textures of your chosen space. Thanking you all very much for joining the Gall Bladder journey. Take a little time to reacclimatize. You might need to feel the surface of your body. You might need to shake out, wiggle and jiggle. Thank you.